Greetings all, welcome to our Master Series. I am here today with Jelly, the one, the only, the beautiful. How are you doing today, Jelly? Uh-oh. Muted, maybe? Jelly, I think you're muted.
Muted. Okay. Hi, everyone. So yes, I muted myself before because I was on there. Okay, the professional, you did not say that, so I'm very disappointed.
Well, we've got a Farkas. Are you more professional than a sleeping cat?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I had to think. So yes, what are we doing today? I'm very excited.
Yeah, as am I. We've got our Master Series with bracket. Guys, the link is in the description for the video. Feel free to check it out. And we're getting started here in, well, it's got to be in just a couple minutes now. 5 minutes? So
yes, I bet the players are excited too who will be the finalist in this. It was a long time, like more than a month, 8 players, and maybe we can show them. Can you show the bracket?
I'm actually working on getting your camera to function without issue. It was working literally in our tech check, and then, like I was telling her, I was like, we're going to go live, and it's going to break, and we went live, and it's broken, but
Oh, no.
we'll get all this stuff troubleshot. We will get Jelly's beautiful face up for all of us to see. Our players, if you want to go ahead and list them off. Alright, so let's see. We've got Poofed, Seth Dove, I Deep Blue Eye, TMO, Maximaldi, Aquaman, Phoenix, and Kuzia. Largest individual representation.
A lot of these players are very well known. Kuzia has won a few tournaments so far. Aquaman is one of the, I think, very first players that has been around for a long, long time and always been placing high in tournaments too.
As long as I've been playing, I think I've known the name Aquaman.
Yeah. Phoenix has been finished a few times. I think Maximaldi, also a really strong Russian player who's really doing well on the ladder. Deep is one of the newer players, but he's been really strong, like currently always in top 10, playing tournaments everywhere, and yeah, I'm really happy for him that he could make it to the top 8 here. That's really strong. And yeah, like newer player for me. Can you tell me a bit about him? Did you spectate him in one of the tournaments, for example?
We would have watched some of his games. Honestly, it's all a blur. I remember the name. I remember watching it. I went, he played really well. That's all I remember.
Okay, let's check out
we can look at his list
guy that we don't know about. And then, Seth Duff also for a long time, but really pushing into the higher placements on the ladder and the tournaments, like now for the last 3 months, I think he won the Captain Britain round robin tournament that was going on, if I'm correct, and
chat will correct us if we're not. I know he played in it, and it wouldn't surprise me, given that he's up here in our top 8, that if he did very well there as well.
I really think that tournaments are so important to also show how great a game is, like to also give motivation to each player, but also to have really great showdown of decks and play styles and great plays. So definitely, I'm super excited for today.
Yes. Same, and I don't know, there's just something different about a tournament because you've got the bans, you've got to decide which of your 3 decks are your good decks. It breaks you out of whatever meta the ladder's kind of stagnated in, and even with a stagnant meta, we haven't seen any meta-changing cards released. We've still seen different decks run in each qualifier and different decks come to victory in each of them. So I really don't know where to guess that we're going to be going with a meta for this tournament in particular.
So yes, let me ask, did you had a lot of invade decks in your tournaments?
Like one, and I don't think anyone who ran invade is in the finals.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's the same for me. Like we had some invade when, like before the nerfs or slightly after the first nerf.
Yep.
But ever since then, there's no invade deck at all. And that changes the meta definitely. Like cards like Execute or the Grisly Gourmet,
yes.
for example, are not really necessary tech cards. You need some other stuff. So that definitely changes how the tournaments are if you compare them to the ladder. Because on the ladder, it's still, on some days, it's like a third of the decks that you face is still invade, and then sometimes less. But yeah, it's
and the reanimate.
So you have to expect it. You have to play around it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, between that and reanimate, that covers a good solid, well, we'll add in goblins, and that covers a good solid 75% of what I run into on ladder.
Mm-hmm.
But alright, I've got the bracket up and started, so we should start seeing people queue into matches here shortly, as they're going in and setting up their first round bands.
Oh. Well, that's pretty cool. Let me see if I can...
Yeah, I'm just kind of scrolling through looking at my friends list, waiting to see if Seth Dove's the one I'm hovering. I'm kind of wanting to see him, since we were talking about Poofed. Poofed is just what I call him, because I don't know what the pronunciation is, but since we were talking about Poofed, he's versus Poof, so it'll give us an opportunity to see what lists both of them have brought into this.
So yeah, if it would be German pronounced, then it's like Poifed.
Okay.
But I'm also not sure. It's not really a common German name that I'm aware of. So I guess we have to ask them. What
he heard me call it Poofed, and I guess he's willing to let me live in my ignorance.
Yeah.
As I was not corrected that I am aware of, or I've willingly just kind of blocked that out of my memory. Like, yeah, I was told, but we're just gonna call it what I want. Dollar's the one I remember. One of the Team Azura guys, I had his name. His name was Dollar Graz, and I was like Doll Forager, because he had numbers in it, and I just read the numbers differently than he had them posted. But man, when he corrected me, I was like, oh, I went the entire stream just butchering your name. Wasn't even close once.
These weird Germans.
Yes.
But yeah, I need to.
We all need to
try and.
We all need to pick a language and stick to it. I don't care if that language is Portuguese. I don't care if it's Italian. I just want to speak the same thing as everyone else. I'll learn something new.
Yeah, I wish I would be better with names and pronunciation. It's I do think it's part of the respect for another person to, like, at least try to say their name as best as possible. But yeah, sometimes you just have to imagine what it will be. So yes, what are we looking at the decks right now, or what should we do?
I was hoping they were going to get in relatively quick, but it looks like they still might be going through the bands. So let me see what I can pull up for those.
So you don't think they might need a starting, like, you may start?
I've already posted that the bracket is live.
Okay.
So we should be good to go. And they would also have gotten a ping through Battlefy. But alright, so the different decks that I'm looking at here, let me see if we can get these live for everyone to be seeing as well. There we go, so we've got Poofed's 3 lists. He brought a Ebonheart, Dominion, and a Sorcerer list.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at the Sorcerer list, and that one is not the typical mid-range list. He has 3 of the Bone Colossus
Yeah.
and Nagleaf. So it's and Telvos as well. So it's not.
Looks like it's a little bit more of like a later game ward, better suited against Tribunal, I would guess.
Yeah.
Also running
Mentos
Dramathra.
Ring is a good coming back as well. So it's definitely a heavy list. But yeah, also a perfect curve going down from 14 2-drops to 11 3-drops, then 8 4-drops, and yeah, then at the end, like a bunch of 7+ drops.
Yeah, no, I think that list looks pretty nice. Let's see. Moving on, the Ebonheart.
Yeah, the Ebonheart list looks quite aggressive.
It's got a Dune Ripper in
there's
it.
There's 18 1-drops, 18 2-drops, and 18 3-drops. So that is a lot. That curve is tough. And then yeah, a lot of item creatures. And yeah, there's Swift Strike, so that he can get the double attack, which is like especially nasty on Reef.
Yeah.
And yeah, 1 Wild Incarnate. The tech cards are the Earth Spinner and 1 Dushnik. 3 Earthbone Spinner, 1 Dushnik.
Also running certain things like the one of Morkel, one of the what's it? The 2/1 Nord Ping Face.
Unstable Madman.
And, well, that one as well. I was looking at the 1-drop.
Yeah, Stormcloak. The 1/1 that it has charge. Well, there's also a lot of Nords in here.
There are a lot of Nords. That is fair.
But yeah, like interesting cards that are not that often played is the Shadow Master. Like currently the list is in German here. I also have to think and translate. That's the green 3/3 that will give shadow to a card and also
make it immune to the actions.
Like it cannot be attacked by spells for a turn. So that one is a nice tech card. That is not that usual.
Wonder if he's trying to combo that with Lyris to get her to stick for a turn. Like, I don't care what you have.
Or then...
I mean, any of his other aggressive cards, he'd use it on and it'd be fine.
The Madman, maybe.
Yep.
That will grow. Or Reef. Like that.
Yeah.
This deck is definitely tough. Another important card, the snake that is shackling a whole lane.
Yep.
There's a lot of tech things, and it might really depend on the draw. Like sometimes the cards, like all your tech cards, don't work that well together. Like
if you don't draw them properly, yeah.
Yeah. Or you get like too many 2-drops, and then you just ran out of gas very fast. I don't see a lot of card draw, so there's just Corner Club Gambler in the deck.
Yeah, and looks like he's kept a similar theology or similar theory where he kind of keeps the curve and mid-ranginess of his lists as he moves into his Dominion list as well. A little bit of drain. He's running 2 of the Wilds Incarnate there. Razum being a nice little bit of card draw, but then other than that, it's just Corner Club. At least that I see. Oh, nope. I see the East March Crusader now.
Yeah, so they have actually started to play, and Self-Stuff is playing Scout, and Poift is playing his Sorcerer here. And
cool. Let me go ahead and hop in.
They are now on 24.
Wonderful.
So yes, Self-Stuff definitely has quite a huge board here with that Monho Traitor. And Poift has some healing. And also Daggerfall Mage is quite nice to get, to trade very well. I wonder what Self-Stuff will do here. Yeah, like makes the Daggerfall Mage one smaller, and the captain, the Bloody Hand Chef, probably saves them from being killed by that Daggerful Mage.
Yeah. Opts to go for Drain. Sadly pulls the bolt off the top, losing that prophecy.
Mm-hmm. Well, so how many prophecies are there? There are just 2, so 2 bolts, and one of them is now in hand.
Yep. It looks like we're going to be using the 3-Feather War Chief. We don't have a way to generate a curse, but I guess we could shift the 2/2 over.
Yeah, probably. That seems quite nice. And the chef will get some more help? Or is there a different way? Yeah.
Maybe. The line he's looking at says, I'm just going to ignore the drain and just hit you in the face.
Yeah, it's always a tough decision when the drain is really delaying everything. Sometimes you can, but I do think shifting that to over is kind of okay. You're not losing that much. Otherwise, you will lose the 2/2 for free to that the 1-drop that's in the Shadow Lane, the Trespasser. So
yep,
I'm not sure. Can such a huge drain creature can always make it that you're always out of range for a few turns. So that's pretty bad. Kills that mono traitor rather than the chef. I'm not so sure.
I share your skepticism.
Chef, yeah, the Bloody Hand Chef is definitely a threat, says the person who has killed a lot of people with that chef. Or also died to huge chefs that I couldn't kill. So I'm not saying this lightly.
Yeah.
But it's true. So you do get a guard in in the way, so that might make it appear a bit a bit safer, or a bit
maybe like you've got an
like
opportunity.
The stronger play.
Yeah.
But yeah, that guy can grow out of control. On the other hand, Seth Duff is also at 16 health, and the Goblin deck does not really have healing. There might be some Brynjolf somewhere in the deck, but it's not in the hand.
Shearpoint, if Shearpoint hits any of the creatures in the field lane, then Chef is still dead by trading.
Yeah.
So we're not going to see him get punished for ignoring it.
Yeah, I do think the...
You could also just top deck a negation. Why not?
I did not like the play to play the 4/2 and move it over to the field lane there, and it didn't trade really efficiently. So yeah, it's pretty good. So now Hoyft has the tough decision of, do I trade? And he is trading. Is he also killing that Shearpoint Dragon? So I do think you want to set up damage here, and Lightning Bolt is your way to get reach for a kill. So yeah, I do like the silencing though, because always a Shearpoint Dragon is such a huge threat and can kill the 2/2s very easily.
Yep. We don't have a really solid hand. I mean, we've got the 3-Feather War Chief Bitterfish, which allows him to clear a single target. But and I guess they'll use that once he's hit Spirit and that buff goes somewhere. But otherwise, there's not a really good chance to control anything down here.
It is a tough decision. Definitely, you do want to use that combo. Bigger threat might be really good against the Nagleaf that we can see in the hand, or or the Bone Colossus. So those are better targets, definitely.
We're gonna.
But
I mean,
wow.
he still has it with the 3-feather leaf lurker, so he's not throwing away all his removal.
Yeah, but still, that is a bit excessive.
Phase
So this
seems
is also
risky.
not setting up lethal because he can buff the feather and like both the goblins, but it's just +4. So then he has 7 attack,
Yeah.
which is not that much. But yeah, Poift is also like, of course, the 3/3 is going phase, brings Seth Duff to 11,
And
and
drop
Bone
Bone
Colossus
Colossus.
is setting up lethal for the next turn. So yeah, are you dead if there's 2 skirmishers? Double skirmisher is +8. You're also not dead, so I don't know if I would be this afraid, actually.
I think
So
Bone
yeah, I'm
Colossus.
always at a stage like this. I'm always trying to at least like play so many guys that you will have lethal, and this like the field lane is now lethal, but there's now a few ways to get rid of that 5/5, and then you just have.
You've got 1/1s, but you're looking at using Bone Colossus to buff them up again.
Yeah, that is true. So that is 6 damage though. It's also not lethal again. So it's
Yeah.
God damn it. So we're seeing like some end game where both just don't have it.
Yeah.
So there's always
The forest is my cloak.
where you have to kind of like try to keep your opponent far away from your face, but also, yeah, damage them enough that you are able to kill them next turn. So this is now, yeah, this is pretty good for Seth stuff because he has the Mercwater Skirmisher. So that's,
Yeah.
well, it's still just 10, so it's also 1 off again.
Is it 1 off though?
know.
If you assume that
Yeah, it is.
Spirit trades into Witch.
Dead, and then you have 6 + 4.
That is true. Yep, I can't math.
Nogleaf.
He did pick up a
I
leaf
like
lurker to
this,
deal with it though.
This way you can maybe get in there with the Bone Colossus, and if the ghost is dying, then you still get the +3/+3 on one of those skeletons. But we can see Sai Sahan, and that might actually, they might be able to set it up. Yes, so just trade all your guys into Nagleaf, then play Sai, and the whole board is gone.
That's what I see as
Everything
well.
dies. You won't get the buff from the. Yeah, and of course play Bloody Hand Chef too, because oh no, he's just in 1 lane. No, he's all.
No, he's all lanes. There's going to be a massive goblin profit here.
So yeah, it just comes up. Okay, he's seeing it. Trading first. No. Oh.
Don't do that. Don't do it, Seth Dove. I'm pretty sure Sai Sahan sets up lethal.
What?
Ugh.
Come on. Okay. But why? Because this is now giving Poif lethal. But
yeah.
Okay, it's a tournament, it's things, you see different things, but okay, yes, I understand that you're not trading here because it simply keeps the same stats and maybe makes you lose next turn again. But yes, with Sai, you could
have wiped it all.
Board, and now Poift has lethal here, and
well done, Poift, though.
It's able to play again with a strong skeleton deck.
That means we're going to be seeing that sorcerer deck again.
Yeah, and we might be able to just switch at some like a different matchup.
Yeah, no, we're going to try to get as many people back in as possible, or viewed as possible. Looking at people who are up here at the top of my list, TMO is currently in. Let's hop in their match, see where they're at.
There we go.
Oh, we're in
TMO
Europe beginning as
is,
well. Nice.
Facing Deep Blue, and I'm very excited to see what Deep Blue is running, because he has been very experimental in the last tournaments that I saw. And yeah, I'm not disappointed. So there's a few different cards. The Illicit Butcher, and he's playing the Empire deck.
Yeah. So Butcher came from the Crab, though, it is worth noting.
Ah.
And I believe he also gave away the Widow Daedra.
Yeah, and there's also a Temple Conjurer. So there might be more.
Oh wait, no, never mind. He gave away a Dive Rock Fall, because there's no way TMO had that in his deck.
The Widow Daedra? Yeah. The Dive Rock Fall. Yeah, so I guess TMO is playing a Widow Daedra.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. You get a little bit of, it's a solid body for 4, a 5/3, and then the Invade just kind of buff your Atronachs a little bit. So you're not playing Invade, you're just kind of getting Invade light.
Even the gods won't hear your screams.
So, well, that will be a big Atronach, 8/6.
Yep.
It's nice to shackle that or control that.
Yeah, so you're capable of trading into the Illicit Butcher. Pushes 7 damage face if you do that, so that'd break a rune. If you don't want to break a rune, I guess you hit the Empire Oathman. Shackle down the Mud Crab, prevent it from getting the easy trade. Or,
Yeah,
wait.
Or maybe just Rapid Shot? Or is there a good Cradle Crush here? No, not really, because the 4...
You end up
4/4
trading your
would
Atronach
survive.
away. Yeah.
So yeah, maybe Haunting Spirit? Oh.
Nope.
Okay. So he's going for the Cradle Crush play, but will lose feature in the process.
I mean, it's not bad. It helps keep... Empire, you need to keep their board under control. So I can kind of understand that.
Yes, it is nice to try and set up that Haunting Spirit like a bit early, so that you can either use it for trading or just pushing damage and give them awkward trades, because they have to kill all the other creatures and then they can kill the Haunting Spirit, or if they're killing it, they're giving you more stats on one guy. But yeah, this is tough. Maybe just like what is an interesting play here? If there would be a ring charge, of course, Dragentail Savior, Shrieking Harpy, and Haunting Spirit is nice. Shackle that 5/3 and then play the rest. But otherwise, so maybe Widow Daedra and Shrieking Harpy. Shackle the 5/3. That would force Deep Blue to use the Cliff Racer for trading. So yeah, it might also be that TMO is playing a lot of Daedra, because the Daedra will get buffed by the by the gate. Interesting. Decides to trade himself and
Yeah, I mean, that allows for
setting
the
up-
Wild's Incarnate value.
it's not bad. Like next turn you can trade with that 2/2 into the 5/2. But yeah. Wild's Incarnate drawing 2 cards is definitely good for Deep Blue here, and TMO is kind of forced to use his both of his other creatures for trading and just keeping that Haunting Spirit up.
But I think that's fine, though, because, I mean, if you're gonna... Your options
you
here,
can-
if you want a Dragentail Savior, Mammoth, Dagger,
Yeah, or just Mammoth and the Widow Daedra, maybe?
could work. I'm curious how much value you're going to be able to get out of a Dragentail Savior if you're pivoting aggro.
Yeah. Yeah, or Dragontail Savior and Widow to and then I don't know, maybe put that dagger onto the Haunting Spirit and push 4 phase.
Yeah, I do want 2 creatures on board just so that our opponent's not able to, say, trick remove one of them and then kill Spirit,
Yeah.
negating the value.
And actually putting the dagger on that Haunting Spirit would be pretty cool because he can't Cliff Racer it away. So he's playing the Mammoth here
Yep.
and did do the trade himself.
Pick up being a Penitus. Not super useful. Defensive
Yeah, not
Bruma
yet.
times 2.
Maybe a bit later. Or you can... Well, you could Cliff Racer? No, and then steal the charge only makes sense if you can trade favorably.
Yeah.
Which does not work.
Honestly, I think the play here might be Varen Oathman. Because Varen stops the bleeding phase, forces your opponent to answer it. And then Oathman, you just need to get a body to trade out there, and the 1 extra health for Varen's nice, I guess.
I guess you could also Edict. Edict 1, play Varen.
That would work as well.
Or there's a way. So you could also 5th Legion and Varen and then Fence.
The reason I like getting the health on Varen is it prevents the dagger addition to Mammoth or Harpy for the trade. They're going to be forced to double trade into it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas normally they'd just be able to dagger because he knows TMO has a dagger.
There we go.
Alright.
This makes this trade awkward, but we can see the Cradle Crush, so it's also not that bad here.
Yeah. You're forcing him into, probably, I guess you would keep Widow Daedra alive over Harpy just to keep buffing your gate. So swing Harpy into Varen, swing Mammoth into the 4/4. But if you're doing it that way, then you're not playing Dragontail Savior. So maybe Savior, Mammoth, you take the 2 damage on Cradle Crush, but he doesn't have a way to ping. He's not running Skaven Pyromancer, so being 3 health versus 1 health, I'm going to argue is moot difference.
So yeah, the thing is Team O is kind of running out of good cards to play. This turn, probably playing Dragontail Savior and Cradle Crush. But then he's starting to run out. So it's... Yeah, I kind of like this. So just ignore Varen and Deep Blue will not get cards and try to hope of getting there.
I don't know. I guess you know he's going to trade, so you're just planning to Cradle Crush on his turn, or on your next turn. Because I don't think you can power through that 15 extra health and still get away winning.
Yeah, and we can see the Defense of Bruma coming up, so he will be forced to trade into those guards that people can put up. And once he played one, like for example, if he plays Cliff Racer, or once he buffed it one time, then the others will cost 0. So that's very nice. Like he can put a total stop on this.
Yeah, no, this looks like a very good control turn for him.
Wait, did you hear that?
So Defense of Bruma, and then I'm.
You play the second one.
Yeah, there's a second one, and now everyone is gone here, and yeah, that looks rough now for TMO.
Yeah. I mean, Cradle Crush kind of helps.
Yeah, he can use Cradle Crush, but then is still facing a guard, so he's not really able to pressure the health
Nope.
But yeah, you also can't keep like the 14 health, 14 damage alive in the field lane. Then you're dead in 2 turns. So
That
that's
would
also not what
constitute a
you want.
problem.
Yeah. So currently, I have the Facebook that you. Ah, there you are. You're live. We are live.
Yes.
I'll whip them into
Cool.
shape.
So yeah, is there also a chat that I can watch, or is that
It
different?
is in the Facebook.
Ah, okay. So that's not for me because I'm not on Facebook.
I do apologize to everyone watching regarding the stream because Discord keeps beeping me every time there's a message. I've already muted Discord and told it not to. It's still doing it.
Ah, okay. I'm not hearing anything, but probably the stream is hearing it. So yeah, it will. And he's not able to, like, that Cradle Crush was still there.
Yeah. He's trying to see if he can find a way just to connect to the last little bit of damage. Edict's going to be able to clear the Flame Atro, though. And then double trade into the Cradle Crush. Alright, drawing first. That makes sense.
Yeah, Markman is nice. So yeah, it would be great to have another defensive boomer, like put that pit line somewhere, and then give it a guard.
Yeah.
Well, you can still give it guard actually with that skin count. But yeah, Deep Blue is also out of cards, and yeah, he hasn't drawn from his 4 runes because Varen, like from the 3 runes. So the advantage from the Mighty Conjuring is already gone. Yeah, I'm not sure if I like this. Like, you could have given something else.
Yeah.
Like another guard. You will lose 1 guard, but then the other big guard might still be there. Like, having a 7-8 Lion Guard. Pounday. Not really gonna help.
Nope. Ironically, the Skinned Hound stopped to... Oh no, the Dive Rock Fall is a banish. I was like, he could banish his own gate, but wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, he can banish the makeshift defense. Which is not that bad, but there is... The makeshift defenses is in the field lane, so you kinda don't care at this point anymore. Like, you just try to get the last damage in. Well, Red Brahmin is kinda nice. But yeah, that Fetcher Flygola. Oh my god.
There's a bolt. 7, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. He doesn't have lethal. So you send the 4 face and just hope and a prayer.
Yeah, or maybe kill that 4 too. Like the one with guard, so that you can connect with the Aunde.
Makes sense.
But yeah, it doesn't work. Like, he needs 6 more damage. And there's Red Brahmin, so everything gets shackled. Oh, and silenced. Well, except the gate, because the gate can't be silenced, and it's already shackled. So yes. Whew, this is over now.
Unless Rapid Shot pulls Red Year that's not being run in the deck?
Yeah.
I mean, Skinned Hound's a nice pull, generally speaking, but yeah, it's not enough for it to swing it.
Like dealing for what was it, 9 Magica? Or 11?
Well, very nice. Let me double check the bracket and we'll see where we're at for each of our rounds. I think that's it. Because I believe Poof triumphed over... Well, unless ID Blue Eye and TMO have another game.
Mm-hmm. So all the others are done. Their scores. Yeah, it looks like they might have... Yeah. Were they just reporting? Every game, like every result put in with 1-0
Yeah, no, there's a scoring issue with the bracket where it's only permitting a 1-0. It appears to have not carried over the best of 3 that the tournament was set on to the bracket. But I'm keeping
Oh,
the scores manually, and it won't it won't affect anything we're doing because all the tie breaks are based off round scores regardless.
okay. So yeah, Team L and Deep Blue are going into another game, so
All right, well here
probably
we go.
they're 1-1 currently, and this will be the deciding match. So yes, Deep Blue has just won with his Empire decks. He's able to play that again, and TMO switched to a Dagoth deck. Let me quickly check what that deck is, and
I'll find you the finest recruits in Syria.
Dagoth. I'm wondering if it's a mid-range deck or if it will
Yeah.
be a more control list. There we go. Yeah, it's more like a mid-range deck. It has Prankster Mage, that the guard that has Ward as well. Swift Strike, Punisher, 1 Battle Mace. So yeah, it's definitely an aggressive deck. There's also a lot of 1-drops. Midnight Trespasser and the Quartermaster.
Okay.
Awakened Dreamer. One-Hole Traitor, the usual.
Picks up a move in shadows for his 0 cost off of Susan there.
Deep
It's
Blue might have a bit of trouble to get that pit line out. Olivia is nice, but his hand is a bit clunky. He can be happy to have the...
goes to protect his 2/1.
Yeah, he's trying to deny that free trade. Yeah. He's also...
Fair enough,
he
I
wants
guess.
to protect the blue creature so that his Dagoth
Oh.
Oathman is getting a better value.
That makes more sense. I
Yeah.
was like, you're gonna end up double trading anyway, but yeah, no, with the Oathman.
And both have... Like, TMO has a more aggressive hand, kinda, than Belligerent Giant, which is, like, feels like long in the future. And then, yeah, Deep Blue has Clivia and is able to play a huge guard
Yeah.
where they are. So that's definitely tough for him. Yeah. What can he do?
I think Oathman pass because you don't want to give him the double trade into the Empire Guardsman.
Yeah. But still, like, Deep Blue is getting some heal effects. He can kill the...
You're on control anyway, so are you really too concerned about the heal on control?
Oh, like, I'm not sure what you mean. I do think if you're racing, every kind of heal is important.
It's true.
It's kind of nice. And yeah, both of them will probably kill that Dagoth Oathman. But yeah, this is a clunky hand for Team. He has to pass next turn, which is awful for him. And if he's playing Marshblade in the field lane, he will not get a card.
Yeah, I think Marshblade's gonna need to be thrown over into the shadow lane just for safety's sake.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Sets them both up in shadow.
Yeah, I do like this play, but he really is heavily relying on top decking. Well,
Yeah.
maybe Deep Blue is giving him a card now. Turn 5, so Deep Blue can play Clivia, which is really annoying to like produce these 1/1s.
Yeah.
That is some infinite value.
There you go. Now you got some card draw. Just have to 2-for-1 your creatures into it.
Yeah. No, you're not getting the card yet. It's turn 6.
Oh, I lied.
Yeah, and you top decked a 1/1, like a 1
Yeah.
mana card. It's really not what you want. Like, Hand of Dagoth, of course, would have been great, or Alfie Conjurer, or, like, yeah.
Yeah, anything that put out a 5-power minion allowed your guy to grow outside of immediate trade range.
Yeah, or like get a Sentinel Battle Maze to trade efficiently here. That would have been nice as well. I'm still not getting a card, probably.
Nope, and ID Blue's got some really nice trades in here where he's able to use the Spirit and then get the value back out. He's going to put down 5th Legion and Pit Lion, I assume.
Mm-hmm. And takes over the field lane again, like back. Oh, well, so that didn't work out as intended.
That's fine. Pit Lion just goes over there.
Yeah. And, yeah, maybe it's still okay. So what can he do with Belligerent Giant now? Not much. I guess you flip the pit line?
Well, if you flip 5th Legion, you do at least get rid of the 3/3.
Yeah. Makes sense, too.
It's not great, but... Last ring charge here. I mean, Clivia's not super great into a Belligerent Giant, but... I'd imagine he's going to check the list, make sure there's no rage before he takes such a play.
Training is over. It's time to gouge these provincial militia.
The Giant has the breakthrough, so...
Yeah.
But yeah, Deep Blue has also healed quite a lot, and his, like, TMO is under pressure now. A lot.
So if you're looking to just play slow, you could, well, play slow, play tempo, you could Belligerent Giant Clivia back up. It at least takes 5 damage off the board for next turn, and sets up 7 more for you to keep pressing face.
Yeah, and the thing is, she is a bit clunkier, like she costs 6, so it might not be possible that Deep Blue has a really efficient turn. If he plays her again, he might not have a 2-drop, or not one that he wants to play yet, so that is kind of nice. But yeah, in the Shadow lane, there's 9 damage going to face, and
Yeah, that hurts.
he's just 4 damage away. And if he had played Clivia last turn and played the defensive Boomer, he could have gotten an extra 3 damage. But yeah, he's probably setting up for the next turn lethal, where he's using the defensive Boomer to just buff his creatures. So this is now 7, 9, 11, plus an extra 4 just in the Shadow lanes, 15 damage in the Shadow lane that we know of. And yeah, against these yellow decks with lots of creatures that play 5th Legion and a lot of tokens, you have to expect Divine Fervor too.
Yep.
There's maybe not always defensive Boomer, but there is usually Divine Fervor or Marcus, the chieftain. That,
Mercenary Captain.
The yellow to attack guy. Yeah, the Mercenary Captain. That will buff creatures +1/+1.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I guess Luzra, Traitor, Oathman, Trespasser, all Shadow.
But yeah, like, if you're playing against me with Dagoth, and then I often have that Battle Mace and the Swift Strike. So that could have actually been lethal here. I'm not 100% sure. Actually, I'm not sure how this turn started.
At
but
4, 11, yeah, no, that would have been lethal. Because it would be a straight add of 11, 15 damage. I like Swift Strike. It's still my favorite card in the game. There's so much you can do with it.
Just so unexpected. And of course, even in Dagoth with 75 cards, afford to play 2 of them. You can just afford to play 1 tech card that is sometimes clunky in hand, but you can't afford to play two. And
Yeah.
then you're like, it's still a question, like, do I play around it or not? But yeah, this looks over. Deep Blue is taking the win
Smack.
with his Empire list.
Smack. Well played.
Yeah, and also reminds me of last year's Master Series when Thea suddenly came with that aggro
Oh,
slice
yeah.
the Empire deck. Like, that was not like on people's minds. It was a totally new deck. So very nice to see that deck making a comeback.
It's really, you need to have Ice Storm, Rage, or just multiple board clears to deal with it. And even then, once Fervor or Bruma starts dropping, you can't deal with the big creatures. But let me go ahead, and that should be our bracket. So I will just go ahead and report their score. With TMO taking the victory. I'm gonna assume it's 2-1. Actually, I forgot. I just need to put it in that TMO wins. Alright.
No, Deep Blue.
Oh, whoops.
Blue did
Yep,
win
whoops.
With the Empire deck.
I fixed it. Yeah, no, in my mind, I was just on TMO side. I was like, yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine.